Hi, now this is my first ever review, so please bear with me and I'll do what I can. This is the Canon SX30 image stabilisation. The goods and the bads that I think about this camera. Well, for a start, the good is the zoom, without a doubt. It's amazing. It can go, with the digital, it's 35 zoom, but with the digital you can go up to 144, I think it is, which is phenomenal. You think of that little lens there, that can do all that. It's also macro, ultrasonic image stabilisation, HD, 35 optical zoom. Like I say, with the digital it's up to 144, so it can really pull some good shots in. But the bad side of it, I think, is basically the layout of everything. For a start, I mean, I like to sometimes walk around with this around my wrist and just hold it like that, so I can then just quickly put it up, take a shot, instead of having this around my neck with this wobbling like that to and fro across my chest. But by holding it like this, you're prone to press this button here, which is the play button, which comes on even if the camera's turned off and you press that button. It goes into play mode, so you could be walking along with that push, not knowing it, wasting battery power. That's stupid. It should only come on if your power is pushed on here, I think, so that way you can review what you've already recorded or shots you've taken without it accidentally going on while walking around. The other bad thing about this camera is this. This is the quick release mechanism for this very small tripod. So this quick release is actually rather small compared to some of them, but even so I can't get into the battery because the battery is in there. It won't open because of that. Not only is the battery in there, so is the memory card. So if I want to change the memory card or the battery, I have to undo this every time. Now this has got one of these little butterfly wings on, so it's not too bad, but some of those that have got the normal standard screw on, it'd be a nightmare having to do this all the time. Now I can get into it. Memory card goes in there, and obviously the battery's there. Ridiculous. Why didn't they move that along to there, so you could have had this here, or just enough so you could have opened up the battery? Obviously a reason for it, I don't know what. If we look at the Canon 550D, for instance, you can see there's plenty of room between the quick release and the battery. Just by opening that up, you can see we can pop the battery out, no problem at all, and replace it without having to worry about taking off the quick release. So that is quite useful if you're in a hurry, and obviously you've got your SD card that goes in there, so you haven't got to worry about your quick release. Right, back to the SX30. The other good thing about this camera is the ability to do this. So if you're doing some videoing, you can actually video yourself and see that you're actually videoing the right thing, because you can look at the screen. And that the images are quite good, although they do seem to have quite a lot of noise in them on a higher ISO, which I suppose is to be expected for a bridge camera. But even so, this is a £300+ bridge camera, so it's quite expensive compared to my Canon 55D, which was £500, so it's only £200 cheaper, which I suppose is quite a lot, really. I'll show you the zoom a bit later on this. It is really good. The only reason I'm going to keep this camera is because of the videoing and the zoom, because together I think they go really well. For taking pictures, I wouldn't bother. I'd get a Panasonic or a low digital SLR, to be honest, 1000D or something. But for taking pictures, not so good. For doing video, very good, and the lens is very good. It's just a shame that they've modelled it around a really bad design. So there you go. Now I'll show you some of the zoom it can do. I'm not going to bother showing you the pictures because, well, actually I will if I get time, but they're not very good. Right, so here's the zoom, and you'll see it's quite a good zoom on this. Zooming in, all the way in. Zoom out, and now you can see it's quite good. It's pushing that mountain right back, look. That's the distance away I was, so quite happy with that. Alright, okay, some of the main features are same as most cameras. It's video modes there. Come around to whatever that one is, I'm not sure. And you've got sports mode where it will take fast pictures, lots of them, as many as possible, depending on the memory card you've got in there and the camera's capability. It's got landscape, portrait, auto, which is okay for quite a lot of situations, but can let you down as well on colours, bright white light and stuff like that. Programmable TV, which is the shutter speed, I believe. You set the shutter speed and the camera will work the rest out for you. And you've got aperture value, which I believe is when you set up the aperture on the camera, it will then work out the shutter speed and the white light, etc, etc. Manual, very good if you know what you're doing. I do use that from time to time, but mainly I am AV because I can just set the aperture to the max and let everything else work itself out. And C1 and C2 are custom settings, 1 and 2. So if you do a setting and save it to the camera, it will be in C1. If you do another one and save it to the camera, it'll be C2, as far as I know. So that's that. This is the zoom, so you can zoom in and out. Quite useful. A lot of people, when they do it, they do that and let go, and then you hear that click, click every time they're zooming in and out. So I'm really trying to get used to just doing it like that, not having that click, because it can be annoying. That's the shutter to take a picture. If you're in video mode, then you'd push the video record button. This here is good. If you zoom in on an object and then you lose it and you're trying to track it, by pushing this button it will zoom back out so you can find the subject, hold it on the subject, let go of that button, and it zooms back into where you was. So that's quite good. Play button is if you want to play a video that you've already recorded or photos you've already taken, you can use the play mode and use this buttons, this wheel that goes round and round. There's also, you hear that, it's got left, right, up and down as well. But this button here, I hate it because the camera's off at the moment, but if I was to push this button, it automatically comes on, and now it allows you to view the pictures. No memory card, but it will allow you to view pictures that you've already taken, which is great. But like I say, if you're walking around, and I quite often walk around with it, holding it like this, with this around my wrist, so you can easily, very easy, and I have done, do that and it's accidentally gone on, just because your button is so close to this. A bit of a silly design. Menu self-explanatory, displays, whether you want the, I can't remember now, I think whether you want to display on or off, because if that's shut, automatically goes off and then you use your viewfinder, which is what I always use. And you can also use that in video mode as well. So that's all that. And what else is there? You've got this here, where is it? This here, which is a high definition cable, so you can run that to a video, TV, DV recorder or whatever. And there's the mini USB, so you can plug it into a laptop or computer. It's got a standard flash that you find on most cameras. It's also got a shoehorn under there that you can plug a external flash onto. I'll just show you the zoom. So that's quite good. Amazing actually. The lens on this camera and the video is the only reason I'm keeping it. If it wasn't for that, I'd sell it on, because the pictures aren't so good. But the video and that lens are pretty damn good. I quite like them. That's just about it that I can say on this. So thanks for watching.